Hi friends, welcome back to our lives. Today is a very chilly day and I'm taking you inside in our kitchen where we're going to make something truly special and delicious. It's a cheese-filled pie with a homemade crust, and in our countries we call it sirnica. It's a very delicious meal and I am no expert in making this, especially the crust itself. It's very delicate to make. So the main star of today's video is going to be my mom. She will be making all the important parts. I will be helping her, but she is the one who's going to make this dish. So for this dish, my mom is going to be the main star because I am no expert in making it, especially the crust itself. It's very delicate to make. I do enjoy to eat this pie, but the main chef today is my mother. I'm only an assistant. So not to delay the things, we're going straight into the kitchen where we're gonna make this delicious food to eat. Enjoy! So let's start by preparing the crust. As you can probably see, my mom is not using any kind of measures, but she does measure with her eye and hands, as she say. Some flour is needed, little vegetable oil, some warm water and a pinch of salt. And mixing can start. No fancy equipment needed, just our hands. She's the one doing this because, to be honest, I'm not great in this. I'm only here, for fun. You can, in a process, add more water as you go. Is it better to start easy and then add if needed? Same goes for the flour. Important is that once the dough is prepared, is soft but not too sticky. Once it's done, put just a little bit of oil on top of it. Make sure it's all over around it. Shape it nicely, and then it's ready to be left to rest. So, the hands get a bit sticky in a process. Make sure they're clean all the time. We wash them before every trial. And soon we will shape a beautiful dough that's going to be ready to be used. This is how it's going to look like once it's shaped. It's now nice and rounded. So we're just going to let it stay for a while and just cover it up and put it somewhere nice and warm. This is actually my favorite pie. I really like this. And this is why I'm kind of here annoying my mom in a process of making this video, just to be here for fun. So in this part, I'm actually the main star and I'm finally here to help to prepare the filling. So we use some fresh cheese, eggs and a pinch of salt. I will mix all the ingredients together and the filling is ready. Now, to let you know, usually the homemade cheese is used, but to be honest, I did not have time to pick some at our local farm. And we do try and use things that we have at the house, not to waste any food. So this time it's just a bought cheese. The eggs, though, are fresh from our chickens, and they really do make, nice and rich yellow color, and they add up to the texture of the filling. So for this one, I'm using 3 or 4 eggs, depends what you have on hand. Just mix it together with the cheese and add a little bit of salt to taste. There is no measures, as I told you at the beginning. I was guided by my mom and just did it by the feeling. So once we mix the eggs and add salt, we then pour the eggs into the bowl with the cheese and mix it all together. So the mixture doesn't need to be perfect, like it can still have little lumps. It's just very important just to, mix it together so you don't have on one part just cheese and one part just eggs. The filling is not going to be that great if it's only one part. So once we do the filling, it's supposed to look like this, nice big lumps in it, nice yellow color, and it should taste delicious once the pie is baked. The process of the preparing for the pie should not take more than a few minutes. It's quite simple, quite easy. The most what I have difficulties with is the actual crust of the pie and to make the dough nice and elastic. So while everything was resting, I went out and just picked up some salad in the garden. To be honest, at this point of the year, there's nothing really much that's going on. I should really do some cleaning in the gardens as well. I did not really have much time, but I do plan to do this when the weather is a little bit nicer. This day was quite cold, so I just focused what I came to look for and quickly foraged what I needed for the salad and went back into the house where it was warm and the pie was ready to be done. So here you can see now, this is the real deal now. So this is the most important part. The crust itself needs to be prepared. And as I said, I'm only here to kind of annoy my mom in the process of this, not to make her feel lonely. So I'm here to observe and to learn. Once this video was filmed, I did try and make my own pie with her guidance, of course, and it was a little bit less stressful without the cameras. So, you know, it took me, like I would say, 2 or 3 times more than it took to her, but it was a good start, definitely. So she's making now the crust, as I said. The process is very delicate and it has to be stretched really thin, so you can basically see through it. Also, it's, well, as you can see here, I'm not really the best at it, as I said. There was a lot of laugh during this process today, during the making of the pie, but as my mom says, it all takes practice, and this is what I plan to do. I plan to practice these type of the dishes because I want to try and keep the legacy, and because I do love to eat good food and I like to eat traditional food, so I need to learn. But as you see, my mom is doing this much better than I do. She is indeed professional. You know, she does have experience. So here I kind of tried to be an expert. It did not really work well. I was quite a bit of nervous, and for me today was a bad hair day also, as you can see. So she showed me anyway how to do it, or at least how to try to do it. And you know, for me, making these videos now, it's going to be like a great ways to make some memories and to document, you know, our time together, our bonding, and just some good times with my family. In a lot of these videos, my mom will be with me. She will help me. And I'm happy that she said yes to this. So yes, you can expect to see a lot of my mom. So now she is preparing the dough for, you know, the final process, which is the stretching with your hands. This is the part that I am most afraid of, because at the same time you kind of need to be very gentle but determined when pulling. You have to try not to make any holes in the dough, in the crust. So, you know, it has to be so thin, like literally, yes, you can see through it, but at the same time, you have to make sure it's in one piece. So yeah, I'm here kind of trying. She's telling me how to do it. I am doing my best. I have to say, you know, she did a great crust, so the dough was stretching very nicely. But I still managed to make one little hole, but that was okay. Only one. That was good. Once I was baking my own pie, it had more holes, but still, the pie was very good. It was delicious. And you know, the camera doesn't really help for something that you never done before. So I think I did pretty good. So yes, this is the way it should be done. It should go like literally all around the table, as much as you can, because the thinner the crust is, the nicer the pie will be. And then here comes the filling. So she's just spreading it all around, and you know, not to be, you don't need to spare on it. So just be generous. I think it's the best part of the pie. If you like the cheese, for me always, you know, more cheese you have is better. So just go with the taste the way you like it. And as I said, I'm here to keep my mom company. I don't really help. But it was fun. It was fun for both of us. We had some great laugh. And at the end, the most important thing, we had a great lunch together. So, yeah. So once she put the filling on the first layer, she always puts as well a little bit of oil, and then comes the folding. So these pies can be folded in different ways. You can like roll them around, make one big rolled pie, or you can make like, you know, 10-15 smaller rolled pies from this amount of crust, or you can just fold like this. This is actually the most simple way, kind of. I think it's great for us beginners, and it takes as well a little bit less time to make it. And yeah, I think it's just basically you need to make layers. So go first on thirds, fold over, putting some filling again, put some oil over it again, and just, you know, make sure that you do the layers then up to the size that will fit into your baking dish and in the oven. During this time when she was making it, I already put the oven on just to get it preheated. I did bake it on 250 Celsius. So roughly it takes 30 minutes, depending on the strength of your oven, and just kind of keep an eye on it as you go. So yeah, she does the layers, and on each layer, once the filling is done, you put a little bit of oil, and yes, then we pop it in the baking dish. Now I said, well, I should probably warn you at the beginning of the video, the pie is very tasty, but it's not particularly healthy. But it's very good. So probably not the best way to eat it every day, but every, you know, so often it's nice to just enjoy simple comfort food, especially during the winter time. This is a very great meal. You know, you can like serve it the way you like to eat it. So once it's done, so we put it into this baking tray. We call this baking tray kind of tefsia. And yes, there goes for the baking. While this was baking, I just kind of was checking on it. So sometimes I just put it on the bottom, and then I go back to the middle. And I prepare the table here for us to have lunch. Just before it was finished, I poured over the milk. And this gives like a nice softened but still crunchy, you know, taste to the crust. So you just pop it in for like a minute or two back into the oven, and it's ready to serve. Put it on the table and just cut it up and enjoy it. So these pies can be eaten with a yogurt or salad, or just simple the way it is. So yeah, that's it guys for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if you ever try to do this pie, and I would love for you to like, subscribe, and share this recipe with your friends. And also let me know if you tried this pie. I would be most happy to hear back from you. Have a lovely day.